Hello, this is Miss Goodwin, and today we're covering Objective 6.2, Volume and Surface Area, which means our objective is that we could find the volume and surface area of 3D or three-dimensional shapes. Now, these are physical objects that have 3 dimensions. Previously, we looked at 2D shapes, which are basically just flat on a paper. These would be objects you can hold, like a ball or a book, a cube, and we're going to take a look at how to find their dimensions. Now, the surface area is the total space covered by all the faces of a 3D object. So now the face is one side of a 3D object. If we were to find the area of each face, that would be our surface area. Now, volume is the total amount of space occupied by the shape. So this is how much space it fills up. Now, one example we could kind of use to conceptualize this is a can of soda. Now, if we have a can here and it's filled with a liquid like soda, the can itself would be the surface area. So if you were to flatten out the soda can, that would be surface area. Now the liquid on the inside, however much soda you have, that would be an example of volume. So surface area, the can, volume, the soda. Now we have to look at a few formulas for surface area and volume. Our first shape is a rectangular prism. Now, for any prisms, the volume is going to basically be the area of the base times the height or the length of that. But let's look at some of the specific formulas for these. So, surface area of a rectangular prism is going to be 2 times the length and width plus 2 times the width and height plus 2 times the height and length. That's because we have 2 of each face with those areas. So length and width, length times width, that would be this bottom face and this top face. Length, width, and height, that would be this back face and this front face. And the height and length is the other sides. And volume, this is length times width times height, where length width is our base. Now, a cube is kind of a special rectangular prism, as in all 3 sides are equal. So the surface area, we could shorten that to 6 times the side length squared. So each side has a base area of s squared, and we have 6 sides. Now the volume of a cube is that side length cubed, because we have 3 dimensions. Now let's look at cone. So anything like a cone or that comes to a point, like a pyramid or a those are essentially going to be 1/3 times the base times the height. Now more specifically for the cone, the surface area is pi times the radius times the slant, which is the length of this right here. That is the slant of the cone, plus pi radius squared, which is also our base. And I'm going to make an adjustment up here. Base is the length width. It's not divided by the base. Now, the volume is 1/3 times pi r squared times the height, or 1/3 times the base times height, because base is pi r squared. Now we have cylinder. This is kind of a circular prism. You could think of it as a circular prism. So it's still going to have that base times height for the volume. And base is pi r squared. Multiply that by the height. And now the surface area is 2 pi r times the height plus 2 pi r squared. And again, that is our base. Now we have a few more shapes here on the other side. A sphere. Now, it's kind of hard to draw, but this is a ball. So a soccer ball, basketball, whatever you want. Surface area is 4 times pi r squared. And volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. Now, triangular prism, this one is going to be the surface area of the triangular prism is base times height plus all 3 sides. So A plus B plus C times the length. That is our surface area. And the volume for triangular prism is 1/2 the base of the triangle, or one of the sides, times the height of that, times the length of the prism. You might also just see this as base times length, base being the area of that triangular base. Now we're going to look at the pyramids. Again, like I said with the cone, these are generally 1/3 times the base times that height. So depending on whatever that shape is at the base of the pyramid, you're going to find the area of that and multiply that by the height and multiply that by 1/3. So surface area is going to be the sum of the area of all the faces. So each triangle you're going to find the area of and add them all together. And then volume is going to be 1/3 times the base, or the area of that base triangle, times the height. And then for a square pyramid, same thing. Surface area is the sum of the area of all faces, and the volume is 1/3 times the area of the bottom base times the height, or 1/3 times length times width times height. Okay. And those are all our formulas. Now let's look at a few examples. So here we have a cylinder. We want to find the surface area and volume of the cylinder. These are our formulas for surface area and volume. Let's do surface area first. So we get 2 times pi times radius, which is 2.1, times 3.6 for our height, plus 2 times pi times 2.1 squared. Multiply all those together, we get 15.12 times pi plus 8.82 pi, which gives us 23.94 pi. And you could leave it like that or multiply those. Remember, pi is 3.14. And that gives us 75.2. And that would be units squared for the surface area. Now let's go ahead and do volume. Volume is pi times 2.1 squared times the height, which is 3.6. So we get pi times 4.41 times 3.6. Multiply that, we get 15.876 pi, which you could leave, or you could multiply by pi to get 49.9 as your volume. We'll just wait for that next problem. But here we go. We got our surface area and our volume for the cylinder. Let's go ahead, try this triangular prism, or triangular pyramid, I changed the problem around a bit to make our calculations easier. Oops. So first we need to find our surface area, which is all the area of all 3 sides added together. So let's find this base first. And I noticed that it is a right triangle. So we have 1/2 times 3 times 4, which is 6. Or 1/2 times 12, which is 6. I'll write that correctly some point. And now all the other sides, we have our slant is 6 and our height is, our length is 3. So we are going to do 1/2 times 6 times 3, which gives us 9. Do this back side here, we get 1/2 times 5 times 6, which gives us 15. Now do the front side, we get 1/2 times 4 times 6, which gives us 12. Add all of these together, we get 15 plus 15 plus 12, which is 42. So the surface area of that is 42. What I did was just find the area of all four sides of that. Now volume is going to be the base, or 1/3, times the base times the height. We already figured out our base is 6. So we get 1/3 times 6 times our height of 5. This gives us 2 times 5, which is 10. So volume equals 10 for the pyramid. Let's do a couple more. We have a rectangular prism here. Surface area is 2 times the length times the width, plus 2 times the width times the height, plus 2 height length. So we get 2 times 4 times 7, which gives us 56, plus 2 times 7 times 6, which gives us 84, plus 2 times 6 times 4, which gives us 48. Add that together, we get 188. Now let's do the volume. Volume is length times width times height. So we get 4 times 7 times 6, which is 28 times 6, which is 168 units cubed. And we got our surface area and volume. Let's do the sphere now. Surface area is 4 pi r squared, and volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. Our radius is 7.4, so let's plug that in. We get 4 pi times 7.4 squared, which gives us 4 times pi times 54.76, which we can simplify about 219 pi, which you can leave like that or multiply to get 687.8. And that is our surface area. Now our volume is 4/3 pi r cubed, which gives us 4 divided by 3 times pi times 7.4 to the 3rd power. Let's cube the 7.4 to get 4/3 pi times 405.2. Multiply 4/3 by 405.2 to get 540.3 pi. You can leave it like that or multiply by pi to get 1696.5. And that is our volume. So go ahead, practice a little more on this. Summarize the notes, practice a little more, and have a great day. Bye.